Hey guys, Sean Fury here with Sean Fury's Hero Training School, continuing our Hero Training video series. Remember, we're talking in this segment, this last few videos, about uh, life exploitation systems, dominator hierarchies, also known as the wolf pack model of social group structure, where one person is exploiting everybody else and for their resources and getting people to do their ill-intentioned bidding. It creates an oppressive environment, an anti-human vibe, throughout the workplace or the home life, because it's against the humans' natural innate drive to satisfy their basic human needs and advance progress towards their personal goals, right? So we're talking about the seven types of people or roles, the seven types of managerial styles that are keeping this oppressive system going. And whether it's at home or at work or at school or at church, wherever. And it's the bystander, the minion, the bystander, the villain, the minion, the saboteur, and the politician. And the this way this all works, as you can see, is the villain gets involved in coercive ways, and the bystander doesn't stop them. And the minion allows themselves to be dominated by the villain. So that's three of the roles right there. And then uh, the next one after that, of course, is I mentioned is the revenge of the scapegoat. This is the person who's stuck in a sibling rivalry because they got shafted as a teenager, they got mistreated, they got excluded, they were led to believe that they're not good enough, and they believed that faulty, distorted thought that propaganda that their family that was toxic and dysfunctional sold them. And so they've got to get out of that because by not getting out of it, they're constantly sabotaging the hero who wants to create a situation in which Malfoy can flourish, right? Harry's just trying to create a place where Malfoy can do well. But Malfoy is dysfunctionally trying to destroy that, right? Dysfunctional means against the goal that he has himself as a human being. It's the thing that leads away from the goal. If the goal were need satisfaction and flourishing life, Malfoy does the thing that is anti need satisfaction and anti progress toward flourishing life, right? It's anti progress towards personal goals. So Malfoy is working hard to destroy the hero. So is the villain, and the minion is often allowing that to happen, and maybe even doing it if the villain tells him to. And the bystander is letting that happen by not getting involved. And now you even have this person called the politician, which is the other side of the sibling rivalry, right? Well, while Malfoy was getting put down as a kid and being put in the uh, scapegoat role, this the sibling of Malfoy, if he had one, would have been being artificially elevated in social status to what I call the politician, and that's because this person in the politician role chooses concealment rather than confrontation. They would rather have their public image remain intact than get people mad at them. So they place their political approval rating as more of a priority than managing the health and functioning of the social ecosystem in which they live, work, learn, and play. Do you see the pattern here? So each of these people is doing something that is preventing them from being able to create and or sustain a new or different way of doing things. This is why they're not influential and effective agents of constructive change. This is why they have either low or no impact, or they do have high impact, but it's destructive, right? So this is how the life exploitation is being maintained by those seven roles, right? The final one I'll throw at you real quick is what I call the has-been. This is someone who was a heroic, but they got messed with so much by the villain and the saboteur and the politician not covering it up and the bystander not doing anything, and the minion just going against them too, that they gave in. They gave in to opposition, and they couldn't maintain their self motivation, right? So that last stage for the has been is an internal locus of self motivation, an internal locus of motivation versus an external locus of motivation. And they chose the external locus of motivation because they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressure. They gave up. They lost their motivation to continue.